In this lesson, I'll implement the behavior of the barrels. They will bounce on the edges of the world, they will kill you if you touch them, and I'm also going to show you the pool of objects in action so that you can see it on the console, how at one point you're not going to be creating new objects, but you'll be recycling objects, making your memory work, your game work with better memory management. So let's get started. I want to add speed of the barrel as a parameter of my level. So I'm going to add that here. So the different levels, or you can easily customize if you have just one level, can have different speeds for the barrels. Let's take a look at our code. So far we are creating barrels every 5 seconds, right? Because that's the value we specified in our external file. And that all happens in create. Create should also give the barrel the physics properties that it needs to have. One of them is the velocity. After you reset an object, the velocity is set to 0, so you need to set it again in case it already had a velocity. And the velocity is going to be level data.barrel speed. This should already give us something, but it's not giving us anything yet. Oh yes, it is. Every 5 seconds we get a new barrel being created. But as you can see, it doesn't. We need to enter the corresponding collision and other information. Let's do that then. We go to update, and we will make the barrels collide with both the platform and the floor. So in here it will be this dot barrels. See how you can use both sprites and groups in here. We've been doing that all along. So now, every 5 seconds, you will have a barrel coming out of the gorilla. There it goes. So that we don't have to wait so much to have the first barrel, we can actually call this, where is it here? We can actually call this method at first, so that we have a barrel right away. Will make it easier for us. Okay, so we have our barrels. But as you will see, they are going to disappear on the screen. We need them to bounce from the borders of the screen, where we have to implement that in create barrel. So we set these things don't get changed by reset, so you can put them either before reset or after reset. We need to set collide world bounce to true, so that it stops at the edge of the world. But not only that, but we actually want it to bounce when it collides with something, and it only needs to bounce on X. So it's going to be bounce body.bounce.set, and we're going to set 1 and 0 in Y. So now we should have bouncing barrels. Let's see, when it reaches the edge, then it bounces. Cool. What about the player? What happens when it touches the player? That's super easy for us to implement. The same thing that we did with fires. We're going to replicate it and use it for barrels. And now if I go and touch one of these barrels, I'm going to wait for it here. You'll see that it kills me. And we actually need faster barrels for the sake of this exercise. It's taking a bit too long to have them reaching the player. What else did we need to do? How we're not killing the barrels yet, right? We want to have the barrels killed when they reach a certain point. So you can have an area where you kill them. You can have that specified in each level, so that in this case I'm just going to hard code it, but I'm going to specify that when the barrels reach somewhere around this area, they are killed. Because I'm checking that at all times, I have to put that inside of update. And the way to do that will be to iterate through all the barrels and check which ones are placed in those coordinates. So this dot barrels dot for each, and then function will be me an element. We can call it barrel as well. Let's pass in the context, and if the position of the element dot x is less than 10. You can either element.x or element.position.x, same thing. Element.y is greater than 600. So this is all hard-coded, but you could obviously have it as part of your level data. Then we're going to kill the barrel. And that gives us to the part that I wanted to show you. So I'm going to leave the player here so that doesn't get killed. And I'm going to type in game state dot barrels. So this is a group, and if I type in dot items, no, let's find the list of elements. Children, yeah, that's what I was aiming for. Children. Okay, so we have 1, right? Now we have 2 on the screen, so if we do this again, we have now 2. And you will see that, say, we have now 3, right? Because there's that one, and that one. But what happens now? That one, we killed it. And if we do that again, see that you still have 3, even though we've already created 4 or 5, if I'm not wrong. So we keep on killing them, but they're not being deleted from the memory. They're just being set as not alive, and we're reusing it. So to summarize what we've done in this lesson, we've set a speed for the barrels. Then inside of our pool of objects, we have specified the barrel's physical properties so that it doesn't leave the screen, so that it bounces when it reaches the screen. And we set the velocity. Also, we're checking overlapping between the player and the barrel. We kill the player if they collide. And we're also iterating through the barrels to find if we need to kill any of them. Before I close the video, I'm gonna do the same thing for the player, because at the moment the player can actually leave the screen, so that shouldn't be like that. So this player body collide world bounds true. So now our player cannot leave the screen. Cool. So that's all for this video.